can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long way over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players.
Well, welcome to Lanlear in the county of Louth. Looking across into Dunleer and our distance on a fine summer's afternoon here for this All-Ireland Junior Football Championship encounter between Fermanagh and Carlow. A home game for Fermanagh, but they accommodated Carlow by playing this game here in the county of Louth this afternoon. As they did, of course, when the sides met in the league way back in February, with that recorded a 111-2-5 victory for Carlow on the day. Declan Carlin about to get proceedings underway in the middle of the park, having a word with his officials there as we speak. But we'll start today with the Fermanagh team as they are designated as the home side. Veteran goalkeeper Roisin Gleeson, she starts in number 1. Number 2 is Emer Keenan from Carlow. There's one change to the lineup. Aoife McCabe comes in for the injured Molly McGloin, one of several Fermanagh players who are carrying knocks into this game. Ciara Clark's at 4, Shannon McQuaid's at 5, she's the captain of the side, and Courtney Murphy is at 6, with Sarah McCarville coming in at number 7. Midfield pairing of Brenda Bannon and Aisling O'Brien make up the midfield, and Sarah Britton, Danielle Maguire and Niamh McManus are in on the half-forward line. Lisa Maguire from Connolly is at number 13. The talented Blathan Bogue, the 22-year-old student, she starts at 14, and Laura Grew from Ahigallen is at 15. I'm decided to say Niamh Kinlan joins us. Niamh, you're running late. You've done a sprint there, have you? I seen you sprinting across. You haven't lost it anyway, that's the one thing.
Jeez, Fatty, I don't know about that now.
No party. We're just going through the teams. Fermanagh, just looking at a quick scan there, obviously. Few familiar names, few new faces, and it's what you sort of expect from this side under James Daly.
Absolutely. Obviously, the standout name, the great experienced players they have, and obviously Fermanagh being in the final last year gives them great experience, but Blathan Bogue is the player that stands out.
No doubt about that at all. She's been, you get your breath, don't be panicking.
So it's really bad that I'm so unfit.
Don't you worry about it. Carlow, of course, come into this game. It's a really free hit for them because they're not expecting to do an awful lot this year. They have a very young side coming through. They have several minors included in their squad ahead of today's encounter. And again, like Fermanagh, they have several injuries. But there are a few familiar names. You'll hear them now as we go through. Nicole Hanley's in goals. Aoife Carroll, Anne Roach and Megan Doyle are on the full back line. Captain of Forney is Ruth Birmingham, who needs no introduction, with Niamh Murphy at number 6 and Sinead McCullough at number 7 from the St Andrews Club. Adele Hayden and Roisin Bailey make up the midfield pairing, while Niamh Ford, Sarah Doyle and Ella Malloy are on the half-forward line. Big day for Niamh Ford, of course, back after long-term injury. There's one change in the lineup. Elaine Weir comes in for the injured Emma Coogan, who was destined to start her first game in the senior side this afternoon, but picked up a knock during the week. Cliona Minahay is included, and this is her recovering, of course, after a massive injury in 2021. She was the top 2022. She missed out most of the season with a bad injury. She was the top scorer in all grades of the championship in 2021. And Sinead Hayden, she comes in at number 15. Conditions this afternoon, it's very warm, it's very humid, but there is a breeze, I have to say, and it's swirling around a bit like last week here at Lanlear. But it seems to be swirling more right to left as we look out, more so maybe than across the field, but it seems to be just coming and going.
Yeah, absolutely, Paddy. And actually, as I look with the tricolour from, we were in this position last week at the Tyrone, the intermediate game between Tyrone and Wicklow, and I just think like the tricolour seems to be moving that bit more, and maybe, as you said, more towards the opposite side of the field as it did last week.
Carlow coming into this game, as I said, it's a free hit there for Ed Burke and his backroom team. There's a lot of new faces there. They only got a single victory in the league campaign, it's a tough ask for them, isn't it?
It is, it really is. And I mean, as we mentioned, the experience at Fermanagh, but it's a great opportunity for this Carlow team. As you said, a young side with, again, backbone with some really experienced players. And obviously, Clean Shea can't go unmentioned. Paddy, she has been, as you mentioned there, the Zucar player of the Golden Boot in 2021. And, you know, it's great. You know, long-term injuries, it's very tough on any player. You know, it's a personal thing to try and get yourself back in, and it's great to see her back playing here today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And of course, there's a couple of ACLs mentioned there over the last couple of weeks in all sports. And see Erin Tierney from Enniskillen she's ruled out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury, and plenty of documentation and talk currently going on about the ACL injuries that players are suffering in all codes, of course. I suppose the main one highlighted by the English ladies soccer team recently, but it's been an ongoing problem in ladies football here for a long time, isn't it?
It is, Paddy, and I'm one of those people that's been part of the gang too. I've done both my cruciates, and I think, you know, it seems to be, I think you're nearly nobody now unless you've done a cruciate, but it seems to be very common. And you know, I think it runs in families. My sister done her two, my brother done one, and only this week my cousin in Chicago did his. So it's a first cousin. So I mean, it's just mad. It can run in families too, I think.
And
there's an element to that.
Your own thought on it? Is it because of the pitches? Is it you know, training now? Has things changed that much?
Yeah, well, it's hard to see. I think, you know, probably in my day there was very little S&C and a lot of work, very little work done like that. Where that's massive now. That's the whole thing in all sports, female or men's. And so you'd feel that you'd imagine there should be less of them because of that. But there just seems to be a given thing now, and maybe, I don't know, it's hard to know. I think back in my day, I was talking about the boots, the type of boot you wore. There was a lot of talk about Moleys. Were there an issue? There wasn't much given them. There was loads of different theories on it, but it's hard to know, Paddy. But
there's lots been wrote about it, but hopefully there'll be plenty wrote about this game this afternoon. I see Elaine Weir has moved into the centre of the park there in place of Adele Hayden for Carlow. And a couple of swaps around there all over the park this afternoon. I would say there'll be plenty of positional switches during this one, as the referee Declan Carlin's about to get this one underway. It's good conditions, perfect conditions for this one this afternoon, really. Perhaps a wee bit too warm. Not sure if we'll have a water break in this one. Referee does get the game underway, and the ball breaks kindly there for Elaine Weir. Immediately launches it long, trying to find Nahe inside. Nice ball to Sarah Doyle. Doyle tries to control possession of the ball, but it's intercepted, and the out there will be Brenda Britton. But no, it eventually does come her way, or Brenda Bannon rather, down below us. She makes strides forward. Nice pass back there to Sarah Britton, and takes the return pass again. Long ball inside, and maybe is the option here for them, but it's wayward out that far side by Lisa McGuire. Two players racing out to take possession of the ball, and it's Laura Grew. She does well. Nice pass through the centre, trying to get it to Danielle McGuire. Another one of the experienced players, part of the All-Ireland squad from last year, of course, as well. Lost in that final, as you'll recall. High hopes for them to get back, but a lot of changes, a lot of injuries, of course, as well in their lineup. Ball one back in the middle of the park again. Limited options, perhaps, but it's all about just moving the ball at this early stage, getting that early score. Bogue is in the right position to get one. Gets away from her marker, gets on to the left. She's fouled, says the referee, Declan Carlin, and correct call, but it's about getting that early score, isn't it?
Yeah, and you could just see the amount of bodies that Carlow getting back. I was just doing a quick count there, Paddy. They're probably 12. As I looked, they've only had one player, and as Fermanagh did that tack, there's two dropping back now. But Carlow are going to be, it looked like they're going to try to flood the D and try and maybe, you know, not concede any goals, I suppose, being the main thing. And if any scores Fermanagh get, will either be come from frees or from distance.
That's a worry for Fermanagh there as well. It seems to be a back injury there for Blahan Bogue. Fall awkwardly, perhaps. Physio out attending to her there now, but she's back up on her knees again. Probably a mouthful of water will sort the thing out, but James Daly and Kiva Morgan down there could do well without any further injuries, the way things are going this year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Free kick, certainly scoreable, just on the 20-metre line on the edge of the D. Stelly's herself just judging the breeze that is swirling around, as we said. And for real, indeed. And that's a a hefty miss at this early stage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sort of an easy start off.
A settler for you, really,
exactly,
yeah.
Paddy. Yeah, just for 20 metres out on the left side for right-footed kicker.
Bad kick out by Hanley. This could cause some problems. The ball back inside quickly there to Maguire. Maguire releases his shot from distance. It's going to drop in. That one certainly does drop over the bar, and a fine score it was.
Great score, and actually when it left her foot, I thought it looked like it'd gone wayward out wide, but it swung in round, so it was a good score and a good settling score for Danielle Maguire.
That 6 minutes on the clock, an important score. The kick out certainly won there, and there's another kick out causing a few problems. A real risk for possession there, but good work down this near side by the number 9, Roisin Bailey. Is it back across, and that can't hold on to the ball. Her midfield partner on the paper anyway is Adele Hayden. She done well to get it back there to Bailey. And Bailey puts a bit of head of steam in there, tries to get the pass through, but I tell you, James Daly has that defence well organised. They nip in there, take possession once again, and actually O'Brien drives forward at this Carlow side, cuts away on the right hand side, tries to get onto her left, and lays the pass back, but it's intercepted by Nahay, getting the pass back and getting her hand in to allow the pass back and getting the ball forward once again, and immediately it's with Niamh Murray on that far side, but work still to be done for Sarah Doyle. Nice pass back to Birmingham. James Daly barking out instructions there. He's not happy with what he's seen there, because that was an opportunity for sure, as Hayden takes possession, gets it to Bailey. Bailey looks up to see his options on from the edge of the D, drops it in, and Roisin Gleeson just sees it out away to her right hand side left of the post as we look out. James not happy with what he's seen there.
No, I think he's disappointed with the way that ball broke down. I suppose Fermanagh were in possession in the attack, but it was maybe a kind of a lazy pass that ended up cleaning Shea. He cut it out. But as I watched there seems to be a double marking job on blocking Pogue as well. At full forward, I think number 2, Aoife Carroll and Meglin Doyle are sort of picking her up, doing a double team on her.
Probably going to, I think they're well aware of her qualities, no doubt about that. And of course, there's no Emer Smith, as what one of the officials said to me earlier on. He said he was relieved to hear that Emer Smith wasn't available, of course, on her travels at the moment. But I think every county is losing players at the moment. An opportunity here for Fermanagh to get on the score sheet again. Free kick this time in the centre of the D. And Bogue hits it. And a nod from the umpires on that side. And you wouldn't know the crowd there now. In fairness, it's very, very quiet here.
Yeah,
lack of atmosphere at this one this afternoon. But most of the people sitting on this near side enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, and it's lovely to see the Carlow colours, isn't it? It's lovely colours.
It's a lovely jersey,
yeah,
isn't it? It's one of my favourite jerseys, no doubt about that. They're wearing their change strip, of course. We should have said that, of course, for man in their traditional green and bluey, a darkish blue. Ball out this near side. Carlow on the attack again. Birmingham tries to thread the ball, or Bailey tried to thread the ball through there, but that defence in there well marshalled by Emer Keenan. Plenty of experience from her, of course. 20-year-old student manages to get the ball out, and Lisa Maguire takes it forward. Fermanagh's first game, of course, in the championship since their late loss to Down in the Ulster final up at Moy a few weeks ago. James Daly says his side have to learn from that, and they're still going to be keen contenders in this All-Ireland series. That's his thoughts anyway, and they always seem to be, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. They've been the team, I suppose at junior level, and they have been one of the teams that's been sort of thereabouts all the time, winning one, and maybe I suppose they want to get a consistency now and try and win All Ireland and try and stay up. I suppose that's a big game for them too.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Of course, winning the title in 2020. Carlow moving the ball out now with Doyle on that far side, and the number 17, the late replacement Elaine Weir, gets a touch again, lays it back inside to Adele Hayden. Plenty of movement down this near side by Ella Malloy as well, but it hasn't come her direction yet. Sarah Doyle drives forward, drops this one in, drops off the post. Who's reacted quickest? It is the number 10. The referee has called it back, though Sarah Britton had reacted well there, but it is a free for Carlow on that right hand side. Certainly a scoreable free again from a good enough angle as well, and it's going to be left to the top scorer in the championship from 2021, Clodagh Nahay. And it's good to see her back, of course, after long-term injury as well. Drops that one in and drops it over the bar. And it's a good score from her.
Yeah, it was really good work there by Sarah Doyle. Paddy, you know, she seen the opening. She actually kind of opened. You know, the Fermanagh defence opened quite easily for her to get through, and she had the hand up for an advantage, and she cleanly hit. No mistake.
No mistake at all, as the ball's moved out to Clark on that far side. Fermanagh moving players forward. Danielle Maguire's made a good run through, and it will almost find her, but doesn't. Knocked away there by Aoife McCabe. Couldn't take control of it. Was knocked away illegally, says the referee, and it will be a free in for Fermanagh. Maguire has it at her toe. They'll try and maybe engineer someone. Nope, they're going to leave it to Bogue. Bogue has been a key component of this Fermanagh side for a couple of years now. She's been doing well. Kiva Morgan down there barking out instructions. Of course, the former Armagh player. You would well know her, I'm sure, Niamh.
Absolutely.
A few battles there with her over the years.
Definitely, many's a battle with Kiva, yeah. And she's doing great work. It's great
she's
to
doing
see.
well.
You know, it's great to see former players back in management roles. And, you know, if anyone can coach it, someone that played it certainly can. And someone like her certainly can. I
had the pleasure of working with her at the start of the National League this year for her TV coverage, as that one has popped over the bar from Danielle Maguire again. And, well, 3 points to 1. Bright start from Fermanagh, but a long way to go in this game. There was very little between them in the league game. 111 to 2-5 it finished. Certainly the goal proved important in that one as the ball goes out that far side once again. Ford jinks away from the marker, doing well, continues to run and then has options. Inside she goes though to Sarah Doyle, and Doyle then in turn gets it, launches it forward into the space of Hayden. So options there from the 17 there. Weir dropped in, but again dropped wide. Wrong selection perhaps.
Yeah, well I think she might have been looking for the pass there, Paddy. You know, she sort of looked up, and I think it's number 12. I think
two mains maybe.
Ellen Malloy I think was running in. She may be looking for the option, but she just put too much on it and it went out wide. So that's for Carlow's second wide now in the match.
Roisin Gleeson, experienced goalkeeper there, getting the ball back into play once again. Sarah Doyle closing out Daniel Maguire on that far side, but it will go long. Try to find Blahan Bogue. 2 players coming across to try and meet her. 3 players coming across to meet her, but she still gets the pass forward, and Fermanagh try and make hay. Back inside there to McCabe. Ball out this right hand side. It opens up a wee bit here for Fermanagh point of view to Blahan Bogue, but the effort dropped short, and there's always a risk when the player doesn't get enough purchase in the ball. The ball will drop short, and it can cause you problems as Birmingham drives out with it on the far side once again. Inside there to Ford. Back to Birmingham, and Birmingham launches it long. Good control from Sarah Doyle out there, and gets a free for her trouble as a cloud blows across the sun here at Lanlear in the county of Louth. Fine facility. As we said, this of course designated as a home game to the Fermanagh side this afternoon. Niamh Murphy lays it back inside there to Nahay. Nahay still has Murphy for support, and she takes possession again, and Malloy's made a good run down this near side. She is making some runs all afternoon there, and now maybe it will come her direction. It goes over the top though. Again, work still to be done by this Carlow side. Back to Hayden. Far out for Hayden. She's closed down quickly by Courtney Murphy, and then goes back then to Doyle. Doyle from distance, it's going to drop short, but the keeper gets a hand onto it and almost went through, but she managed to get enough on it to hold on to it. It goes to McCabe, and the free is awarded, and it's very comfortable. She looked under pressure, but she still was confident.
Yeah, absolutely, Paddy, and there was a vital, you know, because clearly here was really right close to it, and if she got any kind of a hand on it, if Roisin had anyway dropped it or hadn't been confident in getting that ball, it could have been something more to it.
Turned over again by Weir, back to Doyle. Doyle's got options, closing in this time. Thought about it, gets away from the mark, it's a shot in, it's blocked down, no, by Aishin O'Brien. Free kick awarded, and it will be a close range free and an opportunity here for them to close the gap to 3 points to 2 with just 12 and a half minutes gone here in this All-Ireland Junior Football Championship group game. First of a couple. Next up, of course, for Fermanagh is Derry. Carlow take on London. You never know what to expect from London, of course. There's been some great battles between Fermanagh and London over the years. I remember a semi-final here a few years ago where it went very much to the wire. And the Hay pops this one in and pops it over the bar, 3 points to 2.
Carlow will take good confidence there, Paddy, from at times when they're running at the Fermanagh defence. You know, they've nearly no option but foul them. So I mean, if they've got cleanly here, is going to miss, not going to miss any chance. So you know, Carlow will look at that as an option to run at them, and all they can do is create the foul.
Fermanagh are going to have to be disciplined in the tackle. There's no doubt about that.
As you mentioned, looking down at the Fermanagh management, they certainly won't be happy at giving away those soft sort of frees.
Yeah.
You know, and they won't be happy with it.
Sarah McCarville driving forward, launch it long, trying to find Bogue. Ball looked to be picked up sort of the ground there, but it'll come out to the right hand side where Maguire is. Tries to get away from the marker, gets the shot, and again it's a weak effort, and again it goes wide. It is 3 points to 2 here in favour of Fermanagh. There's a long way to go in this one, that's for sure. Ball out into the middle, picked up by McCarville. McCarville, 26-year-old, made her debut in 2016, incidentally. Gets it out this right-hand side to Laura Grew. First opportunity perhaps for her, back inside to McCabe in those orange boots. Tries to get away from the marker, 2 coming out to meet her. She has to recycle it. She recycles it well to Brenda Bannon. Brenda Bannon has got the number 7 there. McCarville coming through, and McCarville's effort spins way up into the air and goes out this left-hand side where the number 7, Sinead McCullough, picks it up. McCullough, not a familiar name in Carlow, that's for sure. More at her own name, if anything, certainly. But bound to be some connection there somewhere. But she's on the road out here with the ball. Is Ruth Birmingham, the captain, and is fouled.
No, Paddy, are you trying to claim her now?
Oh, no, absolutely not, no. But there's bound to be connections. There's connections everywhere in the country, sure, I suppose, nowadays.
Everyone's related to everyone, I think, if you go back far enough.
That's it. Ball out the far side. And it's weird. Nice pass over the top this time inside to Bailey. Bailey jinks away from the marker. Pass inside. Takes the return pass. Bailey closing in. Shot rattles in and rattles over the bar for the equalising score. Goal chance for sure.
Definitely was. And again, it was really good play. A good combination work by the Carlow midfield, Edel Hayden and Roisin Bailey. And, you know, again, just showed that little gaps in Fermanagh defence that you can get in. Here's a dodgy kick out.
The kick out isn't a good one. Almost causes problems. There's a race for possession there. Keenan in there mopping up, or not Keenan rather, McCarville mopping up the loose ball alongside Sarah Britton. Britton does well to get the pass away, and Fermanagh go on the offensive here once again, but that is a let off for them. But just goes to show that there can be cut very much aside very, very easily. And that will be a worry for James Denny and Kevin Morgan.
Absolutely, Paddy. And you know, there's another mistake. Little errors is just, you know, sort of coming into the Fermanagh team here now with a little bit of pressures on, you know, sort of it's nearly a knock-on effect. A dodgy kick out from Roisin Gleeson, nearly something comes off it, and when Fermanagh's in possession, they just cheaply give it away to an over the line for a line ball.
Line ball's a good one, taken to Murphy. Is it back inside once again? There's a workmanlike look about this Carlow side. They're battling for everything. There's a foul there down in front of us. And you know, Brian and Daniel Maguire coming in a wee bit too heavy on Sarah Doyle. Free kick awarded. Doyle set to engineer something here, steadies herself and then lays it back. Sort of a way enough word pass, but it comes okay for them. Back to McCullough. McCullough, nice pass down to Malloy. Her first real chance to show what she can do down this left hand side. Tries to get away there from the number 10 Sarah Britton. Does well. Has to recycle low, gets it back to Nahay. Nahay out across into the middle. Can't hold on to it though, and it goes to Brenda Bannon, and Bannon immediately hits the afterburners, looks up to see his options on. Maguire's made a good run through the centre as well, because out that far side to Lisa Maguire. Fermanagh now immediately on the offensive again with Sarah Britton. Netherny player does well, tries to get to Grew, and it will be a free.
Right, yeah.
She's a nippy wee forward as Grew. There doesn't seem to be much about her. but she's very, very good finisher, that's for sure.
And I suppose it's an example to any forward, Paddy. You know, just if you get that step in front, you know, all it takes is a wee nudge from the defender, and it's a free all day. So.
And 9 times out of 10, the defender is going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball back inside again for Brenda Bannon. She does well, Bannon. At the far side to Murphy, former captain of the side in All Ireland, winning captain, of course, with this Fermanagh side. Bogue tries to cut away from the marker. 3-rounder, gets a shot away though. Hits it wide, third wide of this first half, and we've played almost 18 minutes off that first half. The time absolutely flying. James Daly having a word with the fourth official there, not happy with the challenge that come in on Blahan Bogue. Fourth official stands below us, not taking much heed, just letting them talk away, and the ball out that far side once again to the number 9 Bailey. Giving support, there's Adele hidden as well, and Bailey takes it away again. Tries to find Weir down that far side, but it's intercepted. Weir just not showing a wee bit of pace there, and causing her problems inside the Bogue. Bogue trying to get away from the marker this time. Cuts away onto the left, onto the right. Back it comes out once again. We'll think about recycling. There's 2 out there giving support. Britain coming forward there to lend a hand as well. The shot comes in from distance, and that has went over the bar, and that's an excellent score.
Yeah, and good patience there in the Fermanagh attack. You know, Blahan Bogue did brilliantly, won the ball. Immediately you can see that Carlow, that's just their go-to player. Immediately 3-4 players get round her. You know, a bit of patience, give the ball back out, and on the late run, Brenda Bannon, a super score from distance, and you know, that sort of settles the Fermanagh camp again a wee bit. Good
score, and it's the sort of score that Fermanagh needed. Out that far side, they're on the attack again. Carlow, though, this time it's interesting to see that Nahay has cut away out to the left-hand side on this occasion. They're rejigging their attack by the looks of things. Back it was with Sarah Doyle out there. And Hayden giving support, and then Bailey lending support back inside there to the number 11, Doyle. Plenty of movement, plenty of quick movement from Carlow. Weir from distance, hits it skyward, real Gary Owen style, and it's going to go away wide out that left-hand side. And from a player down receiving treatment there as well. Seems to got a crack on the face, by the looks of things. Physio out having a check, and Dermot Carlin, or Declan Carlin, has hit the stopwatch, and a chance for players to get some water on board as well.
Yeah, and it's very important, you know what I mean, as much as the sun isn't fully out at the moment, Paddy, but it's really, really warm. I'd say it's probably up in 20 degrees. Just when I got out of the car there, I think it was close to that when I was coming in, so it really is very warm in a dead heat, and if you're doing any running in that at all, it'll definitely be even extra warm.
And the breeze seems to have died almost completely.
Yeah,
certainly with a look at the national flag.
Absolutely, the tricolour.
But around the pitch there's plenty of movement in the flag, so it's hard to say what the story is.
Pitch level, certainly. Though just as we said it there, the tricolour started.
Please don't judge us, we're not weather people. As a kick out's taken, and Fermanagh go on the attack again. There's always plenty of movement from Fermanagh, that's for sure. McCabe wearing number 20. Britain inside looking for support. Liam McManus there lending a hand over there as well, looking for the options. Sarah McCarville out there too, screaming for it, but it's with McGuire out to Sarah Britton on the right hand side. Nice pass inside to McCabe. McCabe trying to get away from the marker, onto the left foot of the number 11, Danielle McGuire once again. But again it dropped short, and that will be frustrating from a management point of view.
Definitely. I think that it was got a half block as well there, Paddy. I think it was Niamh Murphy got a super hand to it there just at the vital moment, because she was really lining up. I think that could have been goal word all right.
Ed Burke will be happy enough with watching his team's performance so far. The ball hasn't been kept in play. I thought it had. The lines person on this near side indicates it is a line ball.
Yeah, well, it hit the post anyway, so I think it's definitely.
Yeah.
Or hit the post, the sideline.
Sarah Doyle's not too happy with that decision, but it is a Fermanagh sideline ball.
The Fermanagh management have no problem with it anyway, so obviously.
You're not complaining anyway, that's for sure, as a line ball is taken, and Fermanagh spark up the field there with the number 6 Courtney Murphy. Murphy inside to Britain. runs into trouble but gets it away quickly to Maguire. Good hands from her to get to Maguire. 3 coming round her. Long range effort from Bogue.
That looks
It's
good.
an excellent score from Blahan Bogue. And they just edged themselves ahead 5-3 now.
That was a super score, and there's sort of no mess in there, to be honest. Direct one, first time football in, and she just got it on the loop. And
Sometimes you need to do it.
Absolutely, and sometimes that's football's not over that. If you overcomplicate it, it gets you shouldn't overcomplicate it, should I say? And it's all about getting the ball over the bar and getting into the scoring areas as quick as possible.
Hayden to her full back, Anne Roach, former player, of course, from the last couple of seasons. She's been around the block, tried to come up over the midfield there, now rolling back into her full back position. Free coming from Bailey. Out that far side to Niamh Murphy. Another player from last year. Murphy lays it back, and they're patient in the build up. They're sort of crisscrossing the 45-metre line with this one. Back to Hayden. Some Fermanagh supporters will be familiar with that, of course. They weren't happy with the Fermanagh men last week as they lost. Said the ball kept going back and forward on the 45-metre line, but weren't making much headway going into attack. Again, they're just patient. Murphy to Bailey. Back it goes into Sarah Doyle. Doyle out to Nahay. Then the launch comes in. High route one. Almost got a hand onto it there, and it has went over the bar. And that was a good effort from Sinead Hayden. I think she may have got some touch onto it, but it's went over the bar anyway.
Yeah, that was, and I think that was maybe a sort of it wasn't a shot. I think, Paddy, it was a pass into the full forward line, maybe to possibly get a fist to it or not. But either way, whether she did or didn't, it bounced over the bar anyway. And
she'll be happy enough, and it keeps them within a point here. And there's absolutely nothing between these sides, and a goal could make a massive difference in this. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it really could. And I mean, as we said, both teams are quite, not overly defensive, but they are trying to mind the D and maybe, keep out goals. But I'm very impressed at how wide Carlow were keeping it. As we mentioned, aforementioned Ella Malloy, but Niamh Ford on the far side too. They're keeping it so wide, which is keeping, it's quite difficult for Fermanagh to try and really close the D for that reason.
They're making plenty of space for themselves, there's no doubt about that. A wee bit more congested as they go forward. Ball inside to Grew, trying to get away from her marker. This time she gets the shot away. That's the first time really she's opened up and drops it over the bar. Good score.
Yeah, that's it again. Route one is the best way forward, and when she gets those opportunities, she's not going to miss. And that was a super score from her.
Yeah, good opportunity, and that's the first one really from that side that she got a touch on. Kick out is important here for Nicole Hayden. It's not a great kick out once again, and Fermanagh try and capitalise on it. Ball inside, maybe there's the one there. Grew is away, but it's Bogue from distance, and all of a sudden the gap has opened again to 7 points to 4, and it's that coming. A couple of points come from bad kickouts. No doubt about that.
Definitely, there's a few of Nicole Hanley's kickouts just haven't gone in. I could see what she was trying to do, but I think it just sort of miscued a little bit. She was trying to get it to her midfielder. I think it was Roisin Bailey that made the run out the far side, and it just miscued it a wee bit, and it just took a deflection off of Fermanagh player, and it worked out nicely for Blahan Bogue, and she wasn't going to miss from that distance.
There was work for Roisin Bailey there again. The St Anne's player done well to hold it in, but the pass isn't a good one to Weir, and it will be a free or a sideline ball on that far side. Malloy now dropping back in as well to lend a hand to her defence. As Fermanagh try and ratchet it up here, they're 3 points ahead now, heading towards the half-time whistle. Britain inside, and lovely ball out this near side to Maguire. Maguire, nice inside, intricate pass, maybe too much passing there, and that's the difference maybe in the other side, because to be fair to Carlow, when they get up there, they're going to take a shot. Yeah,
absolutely, and that was definitely a pass too much. I think it was Danielle Maguire that had the opportunity, and she should have took her own shot, certainly.
That ball has come off, appeals for a push there, but it is going to be a sideline ball for Sarah Doyle. Sarah Doyle barking out instructions to her players to get up the park, but they're very slow going forward, that's for sure. And fitness will play a big part in this game, certainly in the final quarter of it, as the high ball goes across in there, and it's well read by Brenda Bannon. At 28 years of age, lots of experience about her, and she does well. Nice ball inside to Maguire. Return pass, There's a moment there where she thought about maybe the shot as well, but it goes back to Grew to McCabe. McCabe trying to bustle through 3 players, gets it back to Maguire out that far side. Shot comes in. It looks to have taken a deflection, but it goes the whole way back to Nicole Hanley. She's under a bit of pressure, and well, she did get the pass to Megan Doyle, but it is a free anyway. But the referee has let it continue with Nahay in there looking for the possession, but it's not good when you see your full forward in there trying to muscle for possession to try and get the attack going.
Absolutely.
She's better up the park.
Just took the thoughts right out of my head there, Paddy. Definitely, if you've a player of the quality of Clean here, you need her closer to the goals and not winning, or getting on possession in her own 45. Absolutely not.
A lot of injuries in this Fermanagh side. Ashley Maguire and Roisin O'Reilly among them, Orla Murphy, and most recently Erin Turney, of course, with that ACL recently. So expect a few changes maybe in the squad as the season continues, that's for sure. The call-up of minors seems to be very prevalent now in a lot of counties as the ball goes back the whole way there to Courtney Murphy. Back to Gleeson, and then the ball will be transcended back up the park here once again as it opens up as we head towards the 29th minute of this All-Ireland group clash, the first one of this group. Important to get off to a winning start and what will be very, very difficult this series. Many people have tipped down to be the side to watch this season. They are making plenty of strides, that's for sure. Their men doing well too. Fermanagh on the offensive again. They lead 7-4. They want to increase that before the break. Foul comes in, or a challenge comes in on Blahan Bogan. It will be a free in.
Again, good patience from Fermanagh there, Paddy. Just didn't take it, there was a wrong shot selection. They waited the person in the right position and to draw the free, and this is an opportunity to go put them another point up just before half time.
Bogue steadies herself and makes no mistake. She missed the first one, but she certainly has been on target since. And that is now 8 points to 4. The scoreboard says 7. We'll have to double check that one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we've 8, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've 8. So we'll double check with the referee at half time. Maybe someone missed one. Maybe we've added one. Seems to be common practice during this campaign, though, for a lot of people this year. But ball out that far side. Either way, Fermanagh certainly much in the ascendancy as we head towards the closing stages. They've had most of the play and they've capitalised on that. McCabe tries to bustle through. She does well. McCabe was in a late replacement for Molly McGloin. That's ball one back once again. That's good play from Fermanagh out that far side. Lisa Maguire closing in. Laid the pass back. Another opportunity perhaps. Again, it's going to drop short, but the keeper, she read the danger. Nicole Hanley, she done very well. That could have been a real goal opportunity, but it has been cleared, and they will try and capitalise on this with Roisin Bailey driving forward. She's been tracked back the whole way by Courtney Murphy, but it's forward now to Doyle, and Doyle flashes this one in and flashes it over the bar. Good score.
Yeah, really good score, and I think maybe in hindsight it's probably the best option, but the possibly was a goal on. That there certainly were, maybe 3v3, and they could have maybe worked a goal, but maybe at this stage in the game it's the right opportunity. The right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball kicked out. Niamh Murphy tries to get a hand on to it, but Niamh McManus doing well out there. McManus lays it back to Emer Keenan. And again, Fermanagh just trying to get McCabe involved again. She's been very, very good in this encounter. Late call up, as we said. Nice pass inside to McCarville. McCarville's pass is a great one, but she gets enough on it. It won't make a distance, but it's a battle for possession out in that far side. It will be a free out for Carlow. A chance for them to release the pressure as we hit the 32nd minute on our watch. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. 8 points to 5. We make it. Could be so. We'll double check that. Either way, Fermanagh have had the upper hand for most of the game. But that said, there was a goal opportunity. Both ends you have to take them.
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose that is the key thing, Paddy. And for a team that's in, I suppose, so-called underdogs, maybe in Carlow, they have to take any goal opportunities they can. They've had little bits of chances, but I suppose nothing clear cut. I suppose if I was a management team at half time, I'd be saying, when we run at them and we get the ball on the run, we're getting something out of it, and to maybe do a bit more of that. I think at times when it's a bit lateral and a bit back and forward across the field, it gives time for man to get players back, and it's a bit more laboured, we'll say. So I think, but definitely Fermanagh's first time ball in is definitely getting much more change for them.
I can see a few people there checking with the referee as he heads off for a cup of tea about the score as well. I think everybody maybe is the same mind as we are, but it is here at Lanlair. Fermanagh 8 points, we make it. Carlow 5 points. Half time in the All-Ireland Football Championship, Junior Football Championship group game. We'll be back in a few minutes with exclusive coverage here on the LGFA.
A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long way over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Welcome back to Lanlear in County Louth. Just checking with the referee. It is indeed 7-5. He chalked off a point early on in the encounter, so it is 7 points to 5. So apologies for that. Hopefully we've that rechanged again for you as well. But it certainly makes life interesting, Niamh, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, and I suppose that last point who scored, Roisin Bailey scored, you know, that was a vital point at that stage now, and putting two in the, you know, putting the two between the teams. And you know, obviously looking at Fermanagh very slow coming out. Maybe James and Kiva have a lot to say to them at half time, the management team, and you know, they need to sort of up it up a little bit more to try and get this win.
Bailey, of course, had the goal chance early on in this one as well. 16th minute she went through and flashed the ball over the bar. A goal would have been a big score at that stage. A goal will be a big score in this game, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely, and it's just, I suppose, it's going to look like whatever team can get it.
You know, we've seen where I suppose Fermanagh have opened, Fermanagh have opened up the Carlow attack or defence at times, but they've, you know, two shots have just dropped into the keeper's hands, or I don't know, they were half shots. There's not much pressure.
Taking a lot out of the ball as well on occasions.
Absolutely, and you know, there was no problem for Nicole Hanley to get a save. You know, on the flip side, we've said it there, Carlow have created goal chances in that one that she placed over the bar, and another one that bounced over the bar, bounced in the square in front. Another one, Roisin Gleeson, almost dropped as well, and clearly Nihe was very close to it. So looking at that, Carlow maybe have created more of the goal chances. So it'll be interesting, and definitely it's about maybe the first team to get the score here in this right after the half time.
Interesting to see a few positional switches there as well in the attack for a Fermanagh point of view as well. To see Niamh McManus away in there, maybe only temporary though. She's been to the full forward line, but we'll wait to see how that develops as referee Declan Carling gets the second half underway here at Lanlear in County Louth. Conditions still remain very, very good. The breeze is back up again, and it will be supporting Fermanagh in the second half by the looks of things. But it is the Carlow side on the offensive. Carlow in an unfamiliar navy blue strip this afternoon here in this All-Ireland Junior Football Championship. Round 1 of the group stages. Last game they played, of course, in the championship, Fermanagh got beaten by Down. They did win their league game against Carlow as the high ball comes in from Weir. This is a dangerous one, a knock on perhaps. Roisin Gleeson had it seen out. There's appeals for a 45, but the umpire was dead on spot there.
Yeah, again, that's another one of Elaine Weir's. Sort of, it's hard to know, Paddy, if they're a shot, or is it an option to try and kick a high ball in and maybe someone get a fist to it. I'm not sure, but either way it's gone out and it's clocked down. There's another wide for Carlow.
Down this near side is a tight enough one there, but she done well, didn't Niamh Murphy, the St Anne's player, and then lays a pass into the middle for Adele Hayden. Ball over to Murphy again. Murphy and turn into Sarah Doyle. Doyle from distance drops this one, and Gleeson has to read this one very well, and almost just didn't get a hand onto it, but she done well. This 35-year-old Donagh player just to get it back out that far side, and Fermanagh, you would expect to make maybe one or two changes in the second half if they can get away with things to rest a few players. McCabe battling in for this one, can't take a hand onto it. Referee says it was a foul there coming out on the hay, and it will be a free. Tussle for getting possession of the ball there. And
that was really well done by Megan Doyle.
Megan Doyle, I meant to say that I called her in the head there. I was looking at
the odds was against her to win that ball, and she did really well, showed good strength, and did really well to win that free there.
Yeah, she lumped away from that incident, but we'll see how she is now as Blahan Bogue strides forward, cuts away, gets away from the marker, gets a shot, and that's an excellent score from Blahan Bogue.
Yeah, really good score, and she had an option there of I think it was Laura Grew was running on her right hand side. No, it actually was number 10. It was Sarah Britton that was on the outside of her, but she did well, and a good score and a good settling score for Fermanagh.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that one, and Bogue has been the key scorer so far in this encounter. Referee having a word with Lisa Maguire there to pull herself out from where she was. Kick out is a long one, but a real tussle there, and it didn't make the target. Even though, to be fair to Adele Hayden, she did take possession of the ball, it did go over the top. Be interested to see this goalkeeper under a bit of pressure. Either goalkeeper under a bit of pressure today, because the goal's going to be an important score. And I've just noticed there, Nicole Hanley's got heavy strap on her left leg there as well as the ball comes in, trying to go route one. Weir's made a good run. It is Nahay, lobbed it in. Keeper has to read that one, and she does. Good experience from Rushing Gleeson there, and she watched it the whole way in and takes possession of the ball. And Fermanagh try and turn it over here once again. Just one score on the board in this second half so far, as the ball's back into the hands of the midfielder driving forward there, Brenda Bannon. Ball over the top, trying to find Bogue once again. She reads a challenge of two players there and it's back out that far side. The referee says she was fouled. Two players did come across, but you thought maybe the advantage would have been there.
Yeah, because just the way it broke is right.
Yeah.
It broke for a Fermanagh player, but you know, God, Blochy Bogue is such a brilliant target for Fermanagh to have, and they really should utilise her more, Paddy. You know, any kind of ball, any sort of a ball gets into her. Even though we mentioned early in the start of the game, Megan Doyle is doing it. No, it's not. Sorry, it's Aoife Carlow doing a man marking job on her, but she's also getting, you know, she's 2 and 3 people around her every time she gets a ball comes near her. But she's really a super target for Fermanagh.
Danielle Maguire, as soon as she hit that ball, she knew it was going wide. She's not happy with herself with that one. She maybe rushed it a wee bit. And the kick out now from Hanley once again. Hat on head. Avoid the sunshine. And it comes and goes here, but it's very warm, very humid. Certainly warm for the players out there as Fermanagh try to get players back once again. The ball in through the centre, picked up well by Hayden. Hayden through to Sarah Doyle, the Clonmore player, trying to drive forward, trying to drag her save forward here. Does well. There's 3 after her. She's continuing the race forward. This is excellent from Doyle. She lays it back then to Weir. Ball comes in from Leger and it goes wide. But it just showed there was 3 running after Sarah Doyle there and they couldn't get a hand on her.
Yeah, you know, she's super carry with the ball, and she seemed to pick up speed as well, Paddy, when she got even into her stride. But you know, she that was just probably a bit of a snapshot from Cleany Hay, and it's clocked down as Carlow's second wide in this half and 2 short into keeper's hands. So they'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed. There's no doubt about that. There's a Fermanagh player down as the play continues up the park, and it's Sarah Britton out there with Niamh McManus there working for it. Back comes to Lisa Maguire. Takes the return pass and then tries to thread it through inside to Grew. Bogue's in there looking for it. 2 comes out to meet her. Good recycling there to McCabe. McCabe then gets it to Bogue, who's made a good run out and comes out this near side where Niamh McManus will close in. 2 rounder, 3 rounder, gets the shot in, hits it wide. And that's an occasion where you think the referee might have given a free there. Seemed the challenge come across her, but she's okay. And 2 wides apiece in a low scoring opening 7 minutes here.
So maybe at times, Paddy, on both sides, there's been mistakes, you know, maybe the wrong option taken at times, you know, the shot taken when maybe the pass was on and you know, vice versa, you know, where a pass should have been taken, it wasn't, you know, at times like that. So, you know, the 2 teams seem a little bit unsettled now in this first half, or the second half, first few minutes of the second half.
Kick out is a better one. Bailey does well. She's been tracked back there by Shannon McQuaid, who's quite enough encounter, but it's been a key component so far. And a real tussle, just trying to get grips in this game. Birmingham drives forward, again trying to drive her side into a closing gap, to close the gap rather. Back to Doyle. Doyle's effort blocked down very, very well there by O'Brien. And O'Brien gets the ball back out again on that far side. It's real end-to-end stuff here. Some good tackles going in, some crunching tackles going in, some great blocks, some decent football. Very little difference between junior football now and intermediate, of course. Little between the sides of all. I suppose most of them have all experienced at least intermediate over the past few years. To varying degrees of success. Ball out that far side once again. Long probing ball, trying to get Weir. But she's not going to make that one. Emer Keenan reads it very, very well. And Fermanagh go up the park again with McCabe taking possession of the ball. Been closed down, no, under a bit of pressure from Hayden, and then releases it back to her midfielder, Bannon. Bannon's fouled. And Roisin Bailey goes away in disgust with that one, but the free is going to be taken by the number 10, Sarah Britton, on the 45-metre line. Takes it short, bit of work for Ruth Birmingham. She still gets it away though out that far side, or not Ruth Birmingham, Shannon McQuaid rather, on that far side. Opportunity from Pogue, an opportunity, blasts away, Gru's in there, she goes to ground. The referee looks at this one, he's going to have a word with his umpires, I think. That was an opportunity there. To be fair to Shannon McQuaid, she done well, put the ball into the danger zone. Gru was there, the referee's going to give a penalty.
It looks like that, all right, Paddy, yeah.
Yeah, he does, and this is a big moment in this game with 8.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, well, we did say, Paddy, a goal is going to change the game, and now this is Fermanagh's opportunity, but really good work by Blahin Bogue there again. You know, a little dummy solo, she took the shot, was well saved. The rebounded shot, I'm not sure who the player is. She's currently still down.
It is Gru, I think, it's down.
I think
she
you're right,
had another bite of the cherry. Yeah, Laura Gru it is, Jeff from Mahicallan.
And she certainly was fouled, so yeah, and this is an opportunity now. It probably is. I don't know who takes the penalties. Maybe it's
looks like Blahin Bogue,
going in that direction, all right. But obviously Laura Gru will have to get up and hopefully be okay before the penalty is taken.
As the challenge came in and the opportunity, it all came from the middle of the park where McQuaid, the captain of Fermanagh, launched the ball in, and it's a great ball. And to be fair to Bogue, she rode the challenge of a couple of players, got the shot away, it spun up into the air. Gru took possession, and well, the rest, as they say, is history, and it could be a massive moment in this game. Gru will get a bit of attention, and Blahin Bogue will attempt to put her side very much in the driving seat, and you think this could sort of just seal the deal here, even at this stage?
Yeah, well, you would feel, we did feel that a goal is going to change the game, and it'll just give this, you know, give the Fermanagh team a stepping stone, I suppose, for victory.
Bogue against Hanley. Plenty of movement from the keeper, and it comes off the post into the keeper's hands. An opportunity still low for Bogue. She's surrounded by 3 players, gets a shot in, and it's dropped over the bar, but what an opportunity.
Big opportunity, Paddy, for sure. You know, hit the post. You know, it's a thing about low and hard into the corner. She certainly got into the corner, but just a little bit too far. Hit the post, get back out, actually rebounded off the keeper's head. But she was very quick to react, and I suppose as much as the goal was what we talked about, it's great to get something out of it, and she got the ball over the bar and did really well, because it's very quick. Carlow came in to close it down, and she did super work to get a score.
It is Rachel Sawyer coming in for Carlow away to our right hand side, replacing Elaine Weir has been withdrawn. Referee holds the play back just for Nicole Hanley to hit this one out. A bit of relief, no doubt, from Ed Burke and his management team there. Sinead Cummins and Joan Cochran. Gareth Saunders will be happy enough so far with this one. Your side trail 9-5, but it's still a manageable distance, I suppose you could say, at this stage. As Bogue takes possession of the ball, she'll be disappointed not putting that one away. And the keeper, to be fair, stood strong and went the right side, of course, as well. And if she hadn't, probably the ball would have spun into the net.
Absolutely, yeah, she did, and she could see before the penalty was taken, even Paddy, she was very
plenty of movement
on the line, and she was certainly not going to give Blahin an easy shot or an easy chance to take the penalty. So she's done really well.
She has a free here now between the 20-metre line, just on the edge of the D, between the 20-metre line and the 45, just on the curvature of the D, away towards the dressing room end. Hits this one. She has the distance, but the umpire signal wide. They took a moment or two there to decide. One sort of looked at the other, but with 12 minutes gone, it is 9 points to 5 here at Landlear in the All-Ireland Junior Football Championship Group. I think it's Group B, and the certainly it's the first round, that's for sure. Ball out this near side, won by McManus. She's been very good in this one. Made her debut in 2020. I suppose we could call it the COVID Championship.
Don't mention that word, Paddy.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But it's amazing that we all come through it, and so many players came through it as well. Remarkable times. It's good to be back playing in the middle of summer again, that's for sure. Not going out in the winter evening. Ball comes in on the far side. Sarah Britton hits this one skyward. It's going to spin away and goes out wide. I thought it took a bit of a deflection, but it has went wide, and a 7th wide of this encounter. Kiefer Morgan down there in discussion with James Daly, contemplating potential changes perhaps in Fermanagh. Ball comes out this near side. Tussle back inside to McManus. She does well, McManus. Confident play from her to Ciara Clark, and turn then goes back to McManus again, and then through to Courtney Murphy. Murphy to McCabe on the far side. This is good play from a Fermanagh point of view. If they can just engineer something out of this one, it goes back to Maguire, Danielle Maguire to Bogue from distance, under pressure, makes no mistake. Excellent score. She's certainly in contention for Player of the Match award today with those scores, because she's been very, very impressive, very, very accurate, and even she has missed a penalty, she still was unlucky.
Yeah, absolutely, Paddy. And I mean, she's that player that, you know, she gets a sight on goal at all, she'll take a shot, and 9 times out of 10 she'll get the score. So yeah, really, really good.
There's a lot of frustration down there in that sideline for some reason. That 4th official is discussing things down there.
Checking the score, I think.
Checking the score again, yeah. But it's 10-5 we make it. It's 10-5 everywhere. I checked at half time, so we'll wait and see. As the ball goes out this near side, it's the first touch of the afternoon for Sawyer. Still under a bit of pressure. She manages to, she gets a free. I was watching the play develop further up the park. She done well.
Yeah, she definitely did, Paddy. That's Rachel. Yeah, Rachel Sayers. Yeah, did well. Very nippy. Won her first time ball, and to be honest, I would have felt it was a good enough tackle from Sarah McCarville, but the referee deemed it a free, and it's an opportunity now for Cleanly here.
Different style of player, very much than Weir, and that leaves it 10 points to 6, and they're still not out of this.
No, and they keep, they can keep plugging away at them. Chance, I think they need to put more pressure on Roisin Gleeson's kick-outs and try and get some change out of those. There's first one.
Into the final quarter now, and this where fitness will certainly take its toll on a warm evening like this. But you look at Adele Hayden striding forward at a pass over the top, though, just couldn't find Sarah Doyle. And it's not away yet, though, but Fermanagh will try and mark it up the park here once again. This is promising from their point of view as they go forward with McQuaid. McQuaid launches it long down this near side, but it's intercepted. A lot of unforced errors from both sides in this encounter as Nahay drives it long once again. And that's good play again from Sawyer. A wee bit of sharpness from her. She's been closed down by Sarah McCarville. Gets the pass inside to Doyle. Doyle's effort has spun away and goes out wide. But the chances are coming for the Carlow side.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a sort of, as you just said it there, it's a comedy of errors there from both teams. A ball giveaway done really well. Aoife Carroll turned, won the ball out in front of Blahin Bogue. Got to Cleanly here. She, Rachel Sayers has immediately made an impact into the Carlow team. She's won the ball first time. And, maybe a bit of a snapshot from Sarah Doyle, and it's gone out wide. But again, they need to put pressure on Roisin Gleeson's kick out. And they're not doing that all the time. And
they're going to make a couple of changes here once again too. It's going to be Tracy and Dorn about, or Tracy and 22 is Amy Hanley coming onto the park. Interesting to see there that they're taking off Adele Hayden and the number 10 Niamh Ford. Niamh Ford has been quiet. Or is it Niamh Ford?
No,
it's Ella Malloy.
Ella Malloy, yeah.
Who hasn't been quiet, who's been up and down the park all evening.
Yeah, maybe it's just fresh legs, Paddy.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Has.
She put on a shift there.
Every inch of the ground here right in front of us from her own 45 and back up to the other side. So
Bogue continues to play on the far side, gets the ball in and hits it wide. But I was going to say that just looking there, that Niamh Ford has been quiet all afternoon. Funny enough, she hasn't been really involved much.
No. Again, she's been that player that's keeping it out keeping the width out the far side and trying to track up and down. But
another sub, Antoinette Dowling coming in. So a few changes been made, and
okay, so interestingly now, Aoife Carroll has gone off Blahin Bogue, and number 18 Antoinette Dowling has gone straight in on Blahin Bogue.
Bogue has been very impressive, there's no doubt about that, and she seems to always just seem to be able to get that wee edge, get away from the player. Some skill to have, though, just at that wee edge.
Absolutely, yeah.
The X factor, whatever you want to call it. Nice piece of play here from Carlow. Once again, it's a full back. And Roach driving forward there to lend support. Ball over the top, an opportunity. Shot comes in, that's rattled off the crossbar from Sinead Hayden. Her first real involvement in this game, but it has went over the bar. It cuts the deficit to a very manageable 3 points.
Yeah, it's back down again, and that was, God, an inch lower, Paddy, and that would have been in the net. Rasping shot from Sinead Hayden, and good build-up play again from Carlow. And here's the pressure I'm talking about, putting on Roisin Gleeson's kick out. Another kick out that's gone wayward for her.
And the player we were talking about, Niamh Ford, does get a touch here. There's lending support, getting the ball wide left this time, driving forward, continuing her run. She's doing well. She looks up to see as her options on. The players just come in there. Sawyer's out there. She's added real potency to this attack, that's for sure. Tries away from the marker, surrounded by players, comes back to Hayden again. Hayden out this near side to substitute Tracy. Tries to get away from the marker. There's a bit more intensity all of a sudden as the ball drops in but drops short again. There's more intensity about Carlow in the second half. Certainly in the last maybe 5-10 minutes there's more about them.
Yeah, but they'll be disappointed as the third shot, Paddy, in the second half has gone short into Roisin Gleeson's hands. They'll be disappointed with that. You take a wide quicker than a shot into keeper's hands because it helps the momentum and builds, it builds Fermanagh's attack again. So, they'll be disappointed with that. But there is definitely a bit of edge to their play at the moment.
The final 10 minutes is going to be very, very interesting in this one. The penalty miss, 2 goal opportunities at the Fermanagh end. But we're in for an intense battle here, that's for sure. Nothing between the sides. Ball out this near side. Grew under a bit of pressure. 2 coming out to meet her, but she gets the pass inside to McCabe. McCabe's pass over the top. An opportunity, and it's over the bar from Lisa Maguire. Good score from Lisa Maguire, and they needed that one.
Yeah, that really settles them down. And good, again, patient play from Fermanagh. The right opportunity, or the right chance taken, and it got into the right hands, and a good score from Lisa Maguire.
Just looking there, Fermanagh haven't made any changes yet. I know they're warming up a few players, but they haven't made any switches just yet. Plenty of positional switches though. Ball back. Could have been costly there, but
Paddy, I say it all the time. This freeze and taking a goal backwards drives me.
It drives me mad too.
I just.
And it almost caught out the defender there with the ball coming out with it, and didn't know what was happening.
And you could see the way Fermanagh, two players went straight immediately to Nicole Hanley.
Ball in through the Doyle, an opportunity for Sarah Doyle. She tries to get away from the marker. There's 2 around her. She still has possession of the ball. The referee says she overcarried the ball, and it will be a free out for Fermanagh. Time eaten into it too, of course, into the final 8 minutes or so of this one, and it's just eaten away from a Fermanagh point of view, and or a Carlow point of view, and they'll be happy with that. Ball out that far side. Bogue down this near side, spins away, and that's deadly accurate from Bogue. Great score from Bogue.
That's our 8th score in the match, if I make it, Paddy, if I'm right. That's brilliant. Really, really top player. That's our 5th for 4 and 2, 6th from play. Actually, only 2 from free. Am I right?
I think that's 4 in the second half.
Yeah, 4 in the second half.
4 in the second half, and Lisa Maguire the other one.
But yeah, she's been really, really, again, if she gets any space at all and sees the goal, she's going to put it over the bar. So it's really, really
she's going to take the opportunity, that's for sure. And referee Declan Carlin gives the free. McCabe across then to McCarville. McCarville out this near side once again to Lisa Maguire, but it's a wayward pass and it's intercepted. Carlow immediately try and get the ball up the park. Great move through the centre, and the ball will make it through there. And next and pass inside to Sarah Doyle. There's a player over on the far side as well. She decides to go it alone. No, she takes the shot. And perhaps she could have took another 2-3 steps and laid the ball out left.
Yeah, and I think
it's easy for us to say where we are.
I know. I think it's actually Sinead Hayden. I think for the few seconds when Sarah Doyle received the ball, if she had actually looked, Sinead Hayden was free inside, and she could have got a ball in, and definitely was a goal opportunity there. Maybe if it could create. But again, it's another score. That's what they need. Keep ticking on the scoreboard, and I know time is going against them, but 7 minutes left. but still 4. Is it 4 points we're making it? Yeah, 4 point game. Yeah.
A few injuries there as well. There's a couple of players down injured.
Yeah, I suppose it gives the teams and
well, that's it.
an opportunity to get in. And
wouldn't be one of those old dodgy ones that you used to be at. 5 minutes to go or something, you know.
I know. Well, with James Daly and Kevin Marley over the team, you wouldn't know what plans they have. The same too, would have every trick in the book.
Of course, two vastly experienced coaches at all levels, and well, the injury away through the centre seems to have cleared up, and the injury up here to the right hand side seems to be an ankle rotation being done there. Declan Carlow going back in to check. This kick out's going to be important and interesting to see the way Fermanagh are lining themselves up in the middle. It's like a rugby scrum here.
Absolutely, it's very unusual.
Now this is something, you're on about James Daly, this is something you'd expect here. And Fermanagh players went down in that challenge. I don't think there's much to it, to be fair.
No, and I see the fourth official's not making it out of it.
No.
Out of here. It's Sean Hurston actually from Monaghan, I think it's down there.
He's just settling themselves, referee telling them to settle down. But they're all gathered up in the middle. It's like that move they do in corner kicks in soccer, where they all sort of line up in the centre. Kick out, the pressure is being put on, no. Rushing Gleeson's kick out. Down the near side, and the ball has been knocked away. Aoife Carroll done plenty of put pressure on there and done enough. And they've got the ball now with the Tracy going forward. Emer Tracy driving now. Again, options. There's plenty of movement in front of the attacking player, but the pass doesn't seem to be coming that way. High ball across into the centre, and it's well read in there by the Fermanagh defence. And they come out with the ball once again. The referee lets the play continue. We're into the final 5 minutes of this one here at Lanlear. Just 12 points to 8, 4 between them as we approach the latter stages. Pressure being put on the kicker. Kiefer Morgan demanding the team to slow things down. Well, a lead like that, that's what you want to be doing.
Absolutely, and it's what we need to settle up and take the right option and keep holding possession, not giving balls like this, 50-50 balls, it's giving it away and giving possession straight back to Carlow.
Well, there's an appeal there for a free kick, but the referee lets the play go on, and the number 12 there, Niamh McManus, did take certainly a touch in the back, if anything. It was right down below us there. You can make your own call on that one. The referee gives the free over to the right hand side. The line ball was awarded to Fermanagh, or to Carlow, and James Daly's remonstrating down with the fourth official and the linesman on this near side, not happy with that call. A free kick here for Nahay, an opportunity for her to maybe engineer something here, because getting to that stage where you maybe need a goal.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going to go for the point.
Oh God.
And that's, well, not good for the top scorer from a couple of years ago. She'll not want to see that one again.
She'd want to forget about for sure. But again, we've mentioned her several times since you come on, Paddy, Rachel Sire. She again won that free. She's so dangerous on the ball. Fermanagh seemed to have no option when she gets it, only to foul her. So she's done really, really well.
Sire's been impressive. No challenge on the kick out there for Shannon McQuaid, and she'll take a couple of seconds to hold on to it, and Fermanagh will try and hold on through the centre. They'll be happy enough not to get a score, just hold on to the ball at this stage. In these latter stages, it's going to be another change to Carlow in these closing stages. This is All-Ireland first round tie. Melita O'Donoghue, minor player, coming about to come in here for Carlow in these latter stages. One of several minors included by Ed Burke and his management team. Appeals down below as they get the ball up the park, and that player has picked up an injury in the far side. She's went down under pressure there. I think it may be a hamstring or something more serious perhaps, or maybe cramp, hopefully. Nothing too serious. Looks to be cramp. She just tried to go along that sideline and went down under pressure. And the free has been awarded to Carlow. Treatment administered. She's back up onto her feet again, but she's not moving very well. Through the centre for Roisin Bailey. Tries to get away from the marker. Two coming out to meet her. Gets the pass away eventually out that far side. Still opportunities for Carlow in these latter stages. And we're into the latter stages now, that's for sure. Moving the ball about well again. They're patient in their build-up, just waiting for the opportunity to open up for them there as Birmingham tries to go forward. Out this near side where it's picked up. She's back down again. Tracy going forward. Looks to see his options on Fermanagh. Literally nearly everybody back in there. And it's a corner back. Aoife Carroll driving away now down that right hand side. Pass inside to Birmingham. Trying to get away from the marker. Back across again. An opportunity here for the substitute to get the shot in. And that's a fine score there from Sawyer, who's been so good since she's come on.
Yeah, again, and you know, she just seems to find the hole, you know, when it's there or maybe when it's not even there, Paddy, as well. So really, really well on our left foot that time, and a really good score. So again, Carlow need to put the pressure on this kick out, and they've given it an easy option for Roisin Gleeson to find a Fermanagh player.
Well, there was 3 points between them when they met way back down here, actually in February. The Fermanagh opted to play this as their home game for them. And they're doing the same this afternoon. We're into the final minute of normal time. We'll wait to see how much time that Declan Carnan has stopped to watch for in this encounter. Ball through the centre there to O'Brien. About to make a change. Carlow, if they have time to make that change. Again, good run from O'Brien. Bogue from distance. And Bogue hits the target again, and that just leaves it difficult from a Carlow point of view.
Yeah, she just, I mean, I can't praise her enough, Paddy. She's been phenomenal today, and you know, all she needs is that wee bit of space. I keep saying it, but she just has this little natural where she just drops the shoulder, a little dink, and gives herself that little bit of room. And you know, she's been deadly accurate today, and that's her, I think, what do we say again, it's her 9th point in the game.
Yeah, Amalita O'Donoghue in there now for Niamh Ford, back in of course this year after missing last year. Ball bobbles away. Fermanagh can finish with a bit of a flourish here if they can get the ball up the park again. Ciara Clark doing well to Lisa Maguire. Lisa Maguire to McCabe. McCabe out that far side once again, and this is a good build-up play to Bogue. The shot score extreme this afternoon off the top of the post, and it goes wide, but that's as good as the score from a Fermanagh point of view as we're deep into injury time. We're heading into injury time now. It's all in the referee's discretion. Ball out the middle of the park, one through the centre there by Danielle Maguire. At times, Carlow did threaten. A couple of good goal chances in this game too, Bailey, early on in the game, of course, and the one then from Hayden in the second half to close the gap. Goals at those times that made some difference.
Definitely would have, Paddy, yeah, and you know, that's, I suppose, you know, a goal in any, it can change the play of a game at any stage coming, and you know, when you create them, you have to try and score them, or if you create that many, you definitely score one or two of them. So you know, they'll be disappointed with that. Both teams will be disappointed with the goal chances they didn't take. So you know, and I'm sure the Fermanagh, as much as they'll be happy with the win, they'll be disappointed that they didn't take some of them goal chances.
A big clash, of course, a big Ulster derby against Derry. Next for them, of course, Carlow take on London, and as we often say, you don't know what you're going to get from London. As the ball comes in from Bogue, far side, wide it goes, but it's again as good as the score, as you would say at this stage. And leave your own wee minor side now in All Ireland.
That's right, Paddy, yeah. There's another kick out.
The kick out isn't good. We'll come back to that in a moment. The ball inside to Grew. An opportunity here for the icing on the cake, and it is the icing on the cake. Sarah Britton puts that one to the net. 113 to 9 points. That's game over for sure. But yeah, your minors.
Yes, Paddy. Yeah, absolutely. I really. You know, I suppose an exciting young minor team now that, you know, obviously had a great win in the Ulster final against Tyrone, and you know, you hope they play Galway now. I think it's the middle of next month, and obviously a lot of them girls are doing their leaving cert, and that's their sole priority at the moment, is probably thinking of their leaving cert. But
hard to keep them training.
It is, yeah. It's difficult for them to keep it going, but yeah, looking forward. They're looking forward. As I said, a great young side, a great, you know, great attitude. The team have a great attitude, a great a team that's very combined together and very all in for one. So hopefully they can get a result.
And an important one maybe for Monaghan as well, with the way things have been going this year, and it's an opportunity for a lot of players to step up.
Absolutely, it's going through a transition, and you mentioned in commentary there about the minors girls coming into the Carlow setup and maybe some coming into the Fermanagh setup. It's so important that we get some of the minors filtered through into the senior team very, very soon. Obviously the priority is the All-Ireland series now, but you would hope they'll come in and certainly come in next year.
I think that maybe a card in these closing stages, for Ciara Clark, but they'll not mind that. Fermanagh have to do a bit of defending here in these closing stages, and we're, well, almost 3 minutes into those additional time, or almost 4 minutes into the additional time. As the referee stops the watch once again here away to her right hand side. No, Darren down below us will be delighted that the rain didn't come as he expected. He had everything set up down there below us. Our thanks to Darren as always, and thanks to Yvonne in the studio today as well for their assistance as we bring you live exclusive coverage through this All-Ireland series here on the LGFA. Full details on the LGFA website. Late opportunity here for a consolation score. Referee looks at his watch. He let this attack go, I think, from Amy Hanley. On that far side, the shot comes in as an opportunity. Gleeson goes for it, gets a hand onto it, and that will be the clearance. And you'd expect the referee to blow. No, I thought that was the final whistle.
I actually thought the way it was going.
He's give the free out though.
I suppose there was a lot of stoppages as well, Paddy.
There was quite a few, few stoppages, So here's the advantage of a stop clock and stopping the times it goes along. But he does now blow the final whistle. An important opening victory for Fermanagh, but Carlow deserve great credit. They have 2 good goal chances that they just didn't take. They're still in the mix here.
Absolutely, and I mean, I suppose they'll be disappointed with that goal, conceding that goal at the very, very end. Paddy, I suppose for Fermanagh, they needed to score that, maybe just to sort of, put that little daylight between them. But Carlow can hold their heads up high. They put in a really good shift for probably 40-45 minutes, and they kept trying there towards the end. Little things didn't work out for them. Maybe if that goal had come, or they kicked 4 late wides. I mentioned the 3 into the keeper's hands in that second half. That was disappointing for them, but they'll take a lot of heart from it and go into for London next weekend.
Absolutely, and that's the closing stages, and the close of this one has finished. A comprehensive victory in the end for Fermanagh, 113 to 9 points. Work to be done for Fermanagh though. They hit several key wides, but in Blachenbogue they have an extremely good player, talented player, no doubt will be very much one to watch as we go forward in this All-Ireland series. Absolutely,
and I mean, like we mentioned at the start that she was being man-marked and at times had 2 and 3 players around her, but I mean, if she got an inch of space at all, she got scores. She scored 9 points today, 2 from frees, 7 from play. I mean, that's a really great return. There was a couple of wides there towards the end, as we mentioned. She'd be disappointed she missed the penalty, but they kicked in total, I think maybe 9-10 wides, maybe more than that actually, if I do my counting here. But they kicked it out of wides. They'll be disappointed with those little things. But for first day out in the championship, the disappointment of losing the Ulster Championship to Down, they'll be happy with that. And as you look down, looking at the 2 sets of teams in their huddles, the championship is not over. They can take some positives out of this.
Yep, games to come, of course, against Derry and London for both sides here in the All-Ireland Junior Football Championship group stages. Thanks very much to Darren, thanks to Yvonne, thanks to you as well, Niamh, for coming along, and I hope that cow's okay for you.
Thanks,
very important to make sure that is. But here at Lanlear, that's it for another day. We're back next week with full exclusive coverage on Championship football here in the All-Ireland series on the LGFA. In the meantime, Slán.
A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long way over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout. That gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.